Hello everyone. This is the continuation video on partial differentiation. This is video number 4, and in this video, the very important rule we have to talk about, that is a cyclic rule. So first thing is here, what is a cyclic rule? How to understand the cyclic rule? How to apply the cyclic rule? Whenever equation is given, that equation follows a cyclic rule or not, that is our discussion. So first let us understand what is this cyclic rule. So let us take a function here. So let us take a u is a function of x and y. U is a function of x and y, and we already discussed in the previous video, that is total differential. Total differential, that is du is equal to, so that is del u by del x at a constant y into dx plus del u by del y at a constant x into dy. This is the total differential. But very clear, this is which rule we are talking about, cyclic rule. And if you take a cyclic process, and in fact here u is a state function, but all those things we'll discuss. But let us take for example, if u is constant, if u is constant, if u is constant, obviously du is equal to 0. Du is equal to 0. The very important statement you have to know, a very important statement I'm going to make, that is, whenever a constant term is introduced into total differential, the total differential is changed to, total derivative is changed to partial derivative, and in case of partial derivative there is no change. Let me repeat the statement. Whenever a constant term is introduced into total differential equation, partial derivative there is no change, but so here the total derivative will be changed to partial derivative. So this is the very important observation you should know in case of what do we call partial differentiation. And here, according to the condition, u is constant means du is equal to 0. So this is equal to, so this is a partial derivative, there is no change. So del u by del x at a constant y, and here this is dx, that becomes del x, and this is at a constant u is constant, plus this is partial derivative, there is no change. So that is del u by del y at a constant x into dy, that becomes del y at a constant u. So let us send this term opposite side. So let me rearrange this. Let us send this term opposite side. So the equation will become, this equation will become, so let us write it del u by del x at a constant y into del x at a constant u is equal to minus del u by del y at a constant x, del y at a constant u. And now bring this term del y towards left side. Let us bring that one towards left side. That equation becomes, so that is del u by del x at a constant y into del x by del y at a constant u is equal to minus, so that is del u by del y at a constant x. And let us bring this partial derivative also left side. So what happens, it becomes so that is del u by del x at a constant y into del x by del y at a constant u by del u by del y at a constant x is equal to minus 1 is equal to minus 1. And the very important condition I'm going to apply. So here in the previous video we discussed a relation between partial derivatives. Relation between partial derivatives. If you carefully observe this particular term, so this is what do we call del u by del y at constant x. This is in the denominator. And according to the relation between partial derivatives, if you can recollect, partial derivative is equal to reciprocal of partial derivative of those two terms taken in reverse sequence under constant conditions. Both are same. So according to that relation between partial derivatives, what we can write here, that is del u by del x at a constant y into del x by del y at a constant u, and this can be written as del y by del u at a constant x is equal to minus 1. This is cyclic rule. This is cyclic rule. And here, if you carefully observe, in this cyclic rule, we have taken a function, we have taken a total differential. I imposed a condition. That condition is if u is constant and del u is equal to 0, whenever a condition like constant term is introduced into total differential, so what happened? There is no change in the partial derivative, but the total derivative is converted to what we call partial derivative. And from here, it's a simple mathematical arrangement. And in place of this reciprocal of del u by del y at constant x can be replaced with the del y by del u at constant x. And finally, whatever the expression you are getting, this is called what do we call cyclic rule. This is understanding cyclic rule. But whenever you are using cyclic rule, whenever you are trying to apply cyclic rule, you cannot take this entire procedure. You cannot take this entire procedure. Now let us take how to apply cyclic rule. uh, how to apply cyclic rule. Later we'll also discuss how to verify whether the given equation follows a cyclic rule or not. We'll also check it. So for example, let us take a p is a function of, otherwise let me take general example first. After that we'll go for pressure, volume, temperature, enthalpy, what do we call pressure and temperature also we can take. Let us take the same general example. U is a function of x and y. U is a function of x and y. Here I'm taking a cyclic process. Here I'm taking a cyclic process, and here the variables here, that is u. Let me write u here, and here this is x, and here this is y. So how to apply this cyclic rule? And let us take here u to x step 1, x to y step 2, y to u step 3. But when you are moving from this state to this state, this particular state to this particular state to this particular state, so let us take y is constant here. Y is constant. Y is constant. When you are moving from this state to this state, this state to this state, let us say that is the state 2, and here u is constant. U is constant. U is constant, and this is step 3. And when you are moving from this state to this state, so obviously here what do we call x is constant. X is constant. How to apply cyclic rule we are just discussing. And now Let us take the first step. In the first step, y is constant, and from this state to this state you are moving. So that is del u by del x at a constant y. Del u by del x at a constant y. And in this second step, u is constant, and you are moving from this state to this state. That is del x by del y at a constant u, at a constant u. And now you are moving from this state to this state, and that is step 3. X is constant, and that is del y by del u at a constant x is equal to -1. Like this, you can write cyclic rule correctly. We will also discuss what do we call, whether the given equation is the representation of correct cyclic rule or not. Also, we can easily check. So let us take what do we call one example here. Let us take one example, a cyclic process I'm taking, and here this is pressure, and here what do we call, pressure is a function of volume and temperature, and we have to apply cyclic rule. And when you are applying cyclic rule, and this is the diagram generally we draw, and PV, that means T is constant here, and here this is P is constant, and here in this what do we call, V is constant. Now how to write the cyclic rule correctly? So here that will be del P by del V at a constant temperature, and into del V by del T at a constant pressure, and that is del T by del P at a constant volume is equal to -1. Like this we can write. So one more example let me take. So here example number 3, let me take one more example. So here enthalpy is a function of pressure and temperature, right? Enthalpy is a function of pressure and temperature, and the cyclic rule we are applying. So let us take a cyclic process, and here let me take variables enthalpy, pressure, temperature. So these are the 3 steps we are taking, and this is the step 1, step 2, step 3. And here H and P means temperature is constant, P and T means H is constant, T and H means P is constant. And what is the correct representation of cyclic rule here? That is del H by del P at a constant temperature, del P by del T at a constant H enthalpy, and that is del T by del H at a constant P is equal to -1. Like this we can apply cyclic rule. Like this we can apply cyclic rule. But the most importantly, whether the given expression is according to cyclic rule or not, how to identify. See, for example, in this, there are 3 variables. One is enthalpy, pressure, and temperature. In fact, there are 3 terms. In general, if you take a partial derivative, so that is del u by del x at a constant volume, if you take a partial derivative like this. So here in this, we can say y is a constant term. Y is a constant term, and here what do we call, d del by del x. So this is del by del x. This is operator. This is operator, and in this u is a function. U is a function. U is a function. So what I am trying to convey, whether the given expression is according to cyclic rule or not, whether it obeys a cyclic rule or not, how to check means, here we have what we call enthalpy, pressure and temperature, right? Enthalpy, pressure and temperature. And in the correct representation of cyclic rule, so what I am trying to convey, every variable, every variable acts as constant, operator and function at once. Each variable acts as constant, operator and function. For example, let us check, this is definitely according to cyclic rule. And in this term, you can see, in this term, in the first term, so this is the first, let me say this is the first term, this is the second term, and this is the third term. In the first term, enthalpy is what we call, enthalpy is function. Enthalpy here, first let us write a function, and here I'm writing operator O, and this is C. Let us check. So F stands for function, O is operator, and C is a constant, right? In first term, what is a function here? Enthalpy. In the first term, what is operator? So that is operator is a pressure, and a constant is temperature. Constant term is temperature, right? Let us take the second term. So pressure, so pressure is here, what is the function here? Pressure is a function, temperature is the operator, and the constant is h. Constant is h. In the third term, temperature is a function, h is enthalpy is operator, and the pressure is what we call constant. Now what I am saying is, in the correct representation of cyclic rule, each variable acts as operator, constant, and function at once. You see here, enthalpy is a function, enthalpy is a constant, enthalpy is operator. And here, pressure, if you see the second variable, pressure, if you see, so pressure is operator, pressure is function, pressure is constant. And one more variable, temperature, you can see here it is acting as constant, here it is operator, and here it is a function. So this is the hint generally we follow to identify whether the given equation is correctly according to cyclic rule or not. And here let us take one example. So one example, let us take on this cyclic rule. So verification of cyclic rule. Verification of cyclic rule for PV is equal to RT. Verification of cyclic rule for PV is equal to RT. So ideal gas equation for 1 mole of gas, and we have to verify whether the given cyclic rule, it obeys a cyclic rule or not. Let us check. It obeys a cyclic rule or not. Let us check. Here the given equation is ideal gas equation, and we have to identify. So this is the pressure is a function of volume and temperature. We have written, so you can see del P by del V at a constant temperature, del V by del T at a constant pressure, del T by del P at a constant volume is equal to -1. And we have to prove that it is correct. We have to prove that. So let us take first here, P, it is a function. Here V is a function. Here T is a function. From ideal gas equation, what is P? P is equal to RT by V. From this, P is equal to RT by V. And we have to find its partial derivative. So temperature must be constant. So let us find del P by del V. You know del P by del V, how to do the partial differentiation. So del P by del V we are finding at constant temperature, and the P, pressure of ideal gas, is equal to RT by V, and here I substituted, this is at a constant temperature. So this is very clear, V into the numerator. So that is V power minus 1. So R is constant, T is constant, and its derivative will be minus RT by V square. The value of the first term minus RT by V square. Let us find so here this derivative, del V by del T at a constant pressure. So what is the volume of that ideal gas? RT by P. What is our requirement? Del V. Second term is del V by del T at a constant pressure. And V is equal to RT by P, and this is at a constant pressure. And here this is a differential of T with respect to T is equal to 1. So the result is R by P. The result of this second term is R by P. What is the third term? What is the function here? Temperature. What is the operator? P. What is the constant? V. So from this, what is ideal temperature of ideal gas of 1 mole of gas? T is equal to PV by R. And if you find the value of this del T by del P, if you find the value of this del T by del P, so here T is equal to PV by R, and the volume is constant. Volume is constant. R is constant. So differential of P with respect to P, that is equal to 1. The result is V by R. So according to this rule, cyclic rule, the result of this is equal to minus 1. Now let us verify. So the first term we got minus RT by V square, second term R by P, third term is V by R. If you substitute all those terms, the first one is minus RT by V square, I substituted. Second term is R by P, I substituted. Third term is V by R. And here it is clear, R and R is getting cancelled. And here one more R is remaining. One term of volume is getting cancelled. And what are the remaining terms? Minus TR by PV, and here this can be written minus RT by PV, and here minus RT by PV. According to the given equation, PV is equal to RT. So here these two are getting cancelled, and we are getting how much? That is minus 1. And we have calculated the values results of partial derivatives, and after substituting we are getting minus 1. So like this we can verify cyclic rule. Like this we can verify cyclic rule. And this is the video on a cyclic rule. In the next video we'll continue our discussion with one more important rule we have, that is chain rule. That will be the last one to understand what do we call state function in thermodynamics. And we'll continue that chain rule in the next video. Thank you very much.